Okay, looking over SQL Lab 1, it really doesn't go into much more SQL than we already have in my examples here. So I am going to go ahead and, because I promised a script to you, you don't even need that for this lab, but I'm going to promise a script to you, so I'm going to show you how that works. So this is the demo tables script that you have in Brightspace. I just picked this one kind of randomly. I just need to have a script to show you how to run it. What I always do, I mean, you can do different things. All you need really is the text. It's a plain text kind of thing. This has the file extension .sql, which SQL scripts often have that. Sometimes they're associated with DBMSs, so they kind of like automatically start up and do their thing when you double click on them. I haven't got mine set up to do that. I've got mine associated with Visual Studio Code, which is a fancy text editor that you can use in programming. So when I double click, you notice I didn't actually extract this, but usually you can get away with that in this because all you need is the text. So what you'll do is open it up in some text editor, do Control Alpha, Control A to select everything, then Control Charlie, Control C to copy, and then go to your SQL. Click the wrong thing again. I already got one running, so this is going to pop up in my way in a minute. But just go to your SQL worksheet in your live connection and paste all that in. But just remember to click the script execution button instead of the big green VCR button. There it is. Oh, wait. Problem with putting it on the bar at the bottom. Anyway, so I run this, and if you don't get any errors, you're in good shape. And I probably didn't, even though I probably have these demo tables already in my database, and it's because, and I'll show you what I mean by this. One of the things you'll notice for a lot of scripts like this is that, aside from setting these things in, or this is an Oracle stuff up here at the top. One of the things you'll have at the very beginning or near the top is something like this, where it drops all the tables you're about to create. So that's a way of kind of hitting reset. So keep this in mind for the future. If you look at these scripts, and when you run them and do work in the database, if you ever need to start over because you've messed everything up, often you can do it just by, you can either do it manually, drop all those tables, and then run the script again, or often the script itself will have kind of a built-in reset where it will drop the tables and then run all the other stuff that it needs to create them. Also keep in mind with create table, because of referential integrity, sometimes you have to create certain tables before other ones, and then you drop them in like the reverse order. So keep that in mind where you're working with these things. You'll get into more of that in detail in future labs, but yeah, so I just wanted to say, they got a built-in reset. This drop table, it is standard SQL. It's a DDL SQL command, data definition language, because you're defining that this table doesn't exist anymore. So this structure that holds data is not going to exist anymore. Be careful when you use this, because it will delete not only all the contents of, not only the table, not only all the contents in the table, but also the structure. So if you got data you don't want to lose, don't do this, or save that data in some other form so you can get back to it. So what you'll notice about these is they'll have usually the reset button drop tables, maybe or maybe not at the beginning. Then you'll have create tables, and some point after you create it doesn't have to be immediately like this, but at some point after creating the table, you have a series of insert statements. So this is really Lab 2. I'll just briefly talk about it. This is data manipulation language, so you're actually working on data, not the structure that holds the data. So DML, insert into standard SQL, which table, and then the values. There's a couple different ways to do the values. You can specify the columns first and then the values that go along with them, or if you don't specify the columns like this doesn't, it'll do just all the columns that are there. So you notice this is a department number, a department name, and a location. 3 columns. As long as you have commas separated here after values in parentheses, the values that would correspond to each one of those fields, each one of those attributes or columns. In the right data type, notice this is a number. This single quote means it's a string, basically, or text that has to go into a varchar. And so See how accounting's the department name, the location of the department is New York, they match. So that's how an insert works. Then don't forget your semicolon.